Hi, friends. How are you? I have another book for you to read. Imagine that. This one's called 3 Minute Stories Best Love Tales. There's several in here. If you look at the book of contents, you can see there's a bunch. So, I'm not reading the whole book to you because you'd probably check out before I got to the end, but I will pick a few of them and have you enjoy a few of them. If you would like to hear the rest of them, please feel free to come check this book out at the library. It has stories in here like The North Wind, Arondocles and the Lion, Stone Soup, Smart Manka, The Boy Who Cried Wolf, The Tailor's Apprentices, The Ant and the Grasshopper, What a Good Man Does, The Magic Doll, The City Mouse and the Country Mouse, Paradise, The Selfish Giant, Ricky Tikki Tavi, Prince Carrots, The Nightingale, The Bell of Justice, The Sealskin, Icarus and Delius, and Alibaba. So I'm going to read Stone Soup to you. It's on page 20. Here's the picture. A traveling man walked along a dirt road. He had a feather in his hat and a smile on his face. His name was Jack Grand, and he was a rat-a-tat-tat man. A rat-a-tat-tat man could do all sorts of things. He could tumble, dance, walk on his hands, yodel, hum, drum, sing, whistle, and whittle. He even knew some riddles. Despite the fact that he could do many things, sometimes he was hungry. There must be something to eat around here, he said. Jack Grant continued down the road until he reached a small town. He knocked on the first door he found. Jack stepped behind the stone gate. "May I help you?" asked a young woman. "Hello," he said. "I'm Jack Grant. I can tumble, I can dance, I can walk on my hands. I'll do a few tricks to pay for a meal." "I'm sorry," said the woman. "I have no money for a rat-a-tat-tat man, and I only have a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper. Try next door." Jack hurried to the next house. He knocked on the door. A man answered. Jack swooped his hat from his head. "May I help you?" "Hello," he said. "I am Jack Grant. I can yodel, I can hum, I can play on the drum. I'll do a few tricks to pay for a meal." "I'm sorry," said the man. "I have no money for a rat-a-tat-tat man. I have only a head of garlic. Ask next door." Jack did. He knocked on every door in the village. He swooped his hat from his head and bowed low to the ground. Nobody had enough food to share. One woman only had potatoes. Her neighbor only had a few carrots. One family only had some bacon. Another family had only handfuls of beans. Jack sighed and set off down the road. He walked along for a while. He no longer had a smile on his face. He decided to sit down and rest. He saw a stone. This stone was not like the other stones on the road. The stone gave Jack an idea. "I know you have to have food to share," Jack said, "but do you have a big pot I could borrow?" "A big pot?" asked the woman. "I'm going to make stone soup," Jack said. "Stone soup?" she asked. Jack nodded. In a moment the woman returned with the big pot. Jack carried the big pot to the village square. He filled it with water and carefully lit a fire underneath. When the water was boiling, Jack dropped the stone into the pot. The pot bubbled and brewed. Jack tasted the soup. Is it good?" asked the woman. "Yes," said Jack. "Actually, it is very good. It would only be better with a little salt and pepper. Not much, just a little." "Salt and pepper?" she asked. "I have salt and pepper." The woman ran to her cottage as fast as she could. She returned with a salt shaker and a pepper mill. Jack sprinkled the salt and pepper into the pot. He stirred. The pot bubbled and brewed. Jack tasted the soup. "Is it good?" asked the man. "Yes, it is good," said Jack. "It would be better with a little garlic. Not much, just a little." "Garlic?" the man asked. "I have garlic." The man ran home and returned with a head of garlic. By this time the entire village had gathered around Jack. "It's actually good," Jack said. "It would be better if—" "If what?" asked the villagers. "Potatoes," said Jack. A woman ran to get potatoes. A bit of bacon and some carrots, said Jack, and some beans. The villagers ran to get the food. Jack threw it all into the pot and stirred. Jack tasted the soup. It is good. Yes, and it's done. Everyone ate until the pot was empty. Empty, that is, except for the white stone. Jack tumbled, danced, walked on his hand, yodeled, hummed, played a drum, sang, whistled, and whittled. He even told some jokes. When he was done, he waved to the villagers. Jack walked for a while. He saw a rock. It was shiny and black. He picked it up and put it in his pocket. It's actually perfect, Jack said, for making rock stew. That was a really cute one. There was another one I saw here that I would like to read to you. Oh, Rikki Tikki Tavi. And I'm going to tell you, when I was a little girl, there was a show on TV once a year about Rikki Tikki Tavi. And I enjoyed it, but it also scared me a lot. So it's one of my old favorites, and I did get over being scared. But it definitely makes you think. Please share what you feel about this one, okay? And this will be the last one. There are several others. If you'd like to check out this book, you're certainly welcome to, and then you can read these other stories for yourself. Rikki Tikki Tavi. This is the story of a brave little mongoose named Rikki Tikki Tavi. One day, a big flood rushed through the jungle. It swept Rikki Tikki Tavi out of his hole. Rikki Tikki Tavi was brave, but he could not fight the flood. When it was over, he had been washed away. He was far from his home. Everything hurt, even the tip of his tail. He could barely move, but when he heard some friendly voices nearby. Is it a cat? Asked Teddy, a young boy. It's a mongoose, said Teddy's mother. The boy picked Rikki Tikki Tavi up from the mud and carried him home. Soon Rikki Tikki Tavi started to feel better. He looked around. His new friend seemed very kind. Can I keep him? Teddy asked. He is a wild animal, his mother said. He will go wherever he wants to go. Rikki Tikki Tavi ducked under a towel for a nap. It looks like this is where he wants to be, Teddy laughed. Rikki Tikki Tavi liked Teddy's house. Teddy was always willing to play, but Rikki Tikki Tavi still wanted to do the things a wild mongoose did. In the garden he made many new animal friends. His best friend was Drazy. She was a beautiful songbird. One day when Rikki Tikki Tavi and Drazy were playing, Rikki Tikki Tavi heard a low hiss behind him. He knew that there were two snakes living in the garden, Nag and his wife, Nagina. They both had angry red eyes. My family has ruled this garden for thousands of years, said Nag. Every animal here must fear me. I am not afraid of anything, Rikki Tikki Tavi said. I may be a small mongoose, but I am brave. That's the scary part, just in case you were wondering. That night, while the family slept, Rikki Tikki Tavi stayed awake. He heard the sounds of snakes moving along the rug. Rikki Tikki Tavi went toward the bathroom. The snakes were whispering in the dark. Rikki Tikki Tavi crept closer until he could hear what they were saying. Nag and Nagina were making evil plans. We must scare the big ones away, Nag whispered. Then there will be no one to help the little mongoose. The garden will be ours again, Nagina said. Our eggs will hatch and our children will rule this entire garden. Our family will rule for 1,000 more years, Nag said. Rikki Tikki Tavi watched Nag move away. Quietly he crept up behind him. He heard a loud sound. Nag's body went limp. Rikki Tikki Tavi saw Teddy's father standing over them. He had a broomstick. He had hit Nag over the head with it. Teddy's father dropped the broom and picked up the brave mongoose. Rikki Tikki Tavi knew he'd have to fight Nagina. She would want revenge. Rikki Tikki Tavi found Drazy and told her his plan. While I go take Nagina's eggs, he said, you must help keep her busy. Drazy hopped toward the house. Nagina saw Drazy. She began to slither toward her, but then stopped. Nagina found something more interesting. Hurry, Rikki Tikki Tavi, Drazy shouted. Nagina is on the porch. She has Teddy cornered. Rikki Tikki Tavi ran as fast as he could to the house. He rushed up to the porch and dropped an egg by Nagina. There's the picture. I have hidden the rest of your eggs, he said. What have you done with my baby, says Nagina, as she snapped at Rikki Tikki Tavi, who quickly leapt away from her fangs. Nagina's tail hit her egg, and it rolled off the porch. She grabbed it in her mouth and hurried to bring her egg to safety. Nagina slid into her hole. Rikki Tikki Tavi leapt for her tail. He grabbed it, and Nagina dragged him down with her. Nagina dropped her egg again, and Rikki Tikki Tavi grabbed it. I will not harm your family, Rikki Tikki Tavi said bravely. You must promise not to harm mine. I put your eggs in the meadow beside the river. Get them and never ever return. Nagina took her egg and left the garden forever. Teddy and his parents had saved Rikki Tikki Tavi after the flood. Rikki Tikki Tavi had returned their kindness. Rikki Tikki Tavi lived with Teddy and his family for a long time. His nights were spent under Teddy's warm covers. His days were spent playing in the garden with Drazy. The garden was his own jungle kingdom. That's it. So, there are others not so scary in here, just in case you are wondering. And the movie that I watched as a child was a little bit different from the story in this book. So if you have a chance to check out the movie, you're welcome to do so if you would like. Anyway, Best Love Tales, 3-minute stories. Keep reading. Bye-bye.